with the HWA heavyweight champion, Ray Steele. A little over 2 years ago, this young man showed up in my gym in Cincinnati, Ohio, with a very intent look in his eye, wanting to be a professional wrestler. He's come a long way in a short time. We're going to talk a little bit about that right now. And, of course, Ray, you're from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and you've got some college football background.
Yes, I was. I played at the University of New Mexico for a couple of years, and I won the strongest player on the team pound-for-pound award. And at the same time, I was boxing and fighting, which kind of didn't work together with football, and I chose that I love fighting better and left football for fighting.
And when we're talking about fighting, besides boxing, it was the mixed martial arts, right?
Yeah, mainly jiu-jitsu, which is, we also mixed with amateur wrestling, which I did in high school, but mixture of jiu-jitsu and boxing and all around everything, mainly for the holds bar type fights.
So with that, college football, jiu-jitsu, amateur boxing, coming into professional wrestling, did it make professional wrestling easier or what?
I think so in a lot of ways, yeah. It, your equilibrium and timing and flipping around and just conditioning as well, I think taught a lot of good things for professional wrestling.
All right, and of course, over the last 2 years, a lot of good things have happened to you in professional wrestling. You became the HWA champion for the first time a little over a year ago. You've had a chance to mix it up with guys just recently, Chris Benoit, Jerry Lynn, Billy Gunn. But I know one of the most exciting times for you was the match with Benoit.
Yes, it was incredible. He's just a true spirit to this sport and to this industry. He's a great wrestler, and it was just an incredible time. I had one of the best times of my life getting to get in the ring and getting to compete with him.
And I know in this day and age of a lot of high flying and high risk maneuvers, you've been studying a lot of tapes about chain wrestling, about the Japanese strong style, and a lot of the old masters like Flair and Steamboat.
Instead of the high flying, I think I like better of a competition. I like the actual competitiveness of making this more of a competitive type show and competitive type match. I just love the wrestling aspect of it, and that's what I did before I got here, and that's what I love to do now.
Of course, I know that obviously one of the main things is for you, acquiring the HWA heavyweight title is a step up, but the biggest step for you is to acquire a WWF developmental contract.
Yes, that's the ultimate goal for myself and many of the guys here in the HWA, and probably anyone that doesn't have one already. That is the ultimate goal.
Yes, it is, certainly is. And of course, we mentioned Benoit, but other than Benoit over the last 2 years, give me a couple of the highlights of your career. Who are some of the toughest guys you worked with?
I like wrestling anybody, anywhere. Chris Benoit obviously was one of the best matches of my life. Due to him, I got to wrestle Rhino in a hardcore match a few months back, and that was an incredible time. Jerry Lynn, Denver, Colorado, that was another. He's a great little athlete and great little wrestler. And Bob Holly was another one. I've had several, and just guys on our own company here. Matt Stryker, Cody Hawk, Nick Densmore from Ohio Valley Wrestling. There's several guys that I like to wrestle just as well.
And of course, that kind of brings us up to date, and that brings us up to the Invasion. WCW coming into HWA, and you weren't necessarily a fan favorite up till a few months ago, and now with the WCW Invasion, things have kind of switched.
As far as this WCW Invasion goes, Mike Sanders, the former commissioner of WCW, now leader of this group of class act losers, just going to come down here to HWA and stake their claim, and that's not the way it's going to happen. Wrong. You see, while you guys were up killing off WCW television, we've been down here working the independents, working the roads for little or no pay in front of 50, 20, hundreds of people to no people. We've been busting our butts, and you people are going to have to come down here and earn some respect by proving yourself. I don't know what else to think about this right now.
All right, well, there you have it from the HWA heavyweight champion, Ray Steele, and that's been our Hangin' With segment today.